Hello and welcome, friends, to Studio Central's monthly poetry slam.
So I have two poems to read. This first one is called Parasites of the Mind. So here it goes. The parasites inside my head, they'll haunt me till the day that I'm dead. They eat up all the peace and joy, they leave behind a very sick boy. They play with delusions of things untrue, stick to me like wax and glue. They whisper lies into my ear, they fill me with anxiety and fear. The Grim Reaper is already gone, I turn out dead in the break of dawn. They arrest me till I silently scream, will I ever wake from this dream? My mind is a graveyard of things that were, everything is just a blur. This next one is called Mental Illness is Not Evil. So it goes, mental illness is not evil, it's just a thing that happens to people. Since we are filled with rage, it's because it's so damn hard to turn the page. As broken record over and over again, there's a lesson in torture and a lesson in pain. How can you judge if you're not? How can you judge if you're not sick? Don't be judgmental and don't be a prick. People are not bad just because they are off. Who are you to scoff? Things will be different if you're in my shoes. If you jump to conclusions, you will lose. So
This one is called October. There's a chill in the air and leaves are changing color. No doubt this is a season meant for lovers. Sleeping bundled up under the covers as rain hits the windows, occasionally interrupted by the sun. The time to wear my favorite sweaters. Another month rolls by slowly and we wish that it would last forever. As we shudder anticipating winter. Seems like time is moving in slow motion. Panoramic views are stunning and Thanksgiving plans are up and running. My heart draws strength from the beauty that surrounds us, like a seduction from an otherworldly succubus, teaching all the ways there are to love with a bite of frost. Life can be so wondrous, but at a cost. We think we found ourselves, but then again we're lost. The fleeting moments of self are gone, with nothing for identity to coalesce around. We regain our narrative safe and sound. Time to reflect on bygone ages and remember our life in consecutive stages. We had no perspective when we were caught up in living with the future as a series of blank pages. We run free only to find ourselves in different cages. This self turns from season to season. We change and sometimes can't find the reason. Okay, thank you. I have two more. This is my second one. It's called Opinion. You put forth bigotry and hatred with all of your pseudo-facts. It makes people uncomfortable to hear you going on like that. No one wants to start a fight or even raise a hand. So we say you have mental issues and change the subject as best we can. Your mind is full of conspiracy theories related to your revisionist history. And it's your right to think the way you want, but as for me, I don't agree. And I don't think I'll ever know what causes you to attack people who have done nothing wrong. I guess I should be more angry, but I know you have troubles too. So the undercurrents of conversation go unopposed, like they always do. People run around committing terrorist crimes all because they can't see the other side. And the cost is lives, not just those who are victims of violent crime, but the grieving families, the cultural wisdom and support lost, and the systematic racism that is part of their lives. Thank you. And this one was for Halloween. It's called Werewolf. Creepy terrors in the night, a feeling that I cannot fight. Black candles flickering low, a burden that I am just coming to know. I am changing shape with nowhere to go. Through the forest I will roam. My inner wolf is hungry tonight. If you come near me, I cannot promise that I will not bite. I howl at the moon, leave footprints in the snow. I am hungry but free, my intentions come slow. What shall I do with what I have become? I'm dangerous in my appetites, but I don't want to kill anyone. No need for silver bullets to bring me down. I'll stick to small prey and leave you alone, running through the trees on my own. Don't test me, please, by coming to my hunting grounds. I might not be able to hold back if you come around. I'm searching for my pack as a lone wolf, but it's hard to find anyone of my kind, as I run free looking for companions to find. The stars twinkling in the midnight sky, but I fear my plans might go awry. I feel the hunger for blood and meat. It's only natural to want to feed. Here I go on a killing spree. It might be fatal to catch more than a glimpse of me. Thank you.
I have a poem here. I'm reading it in dedication of the author here, the poet and the author, Marjolaine Brodier. I saw her on the day that she left by accident, and I got permission from her to read it. So here goes. Oh, she went to, like Georgia near Russia, to be reunited with her family. Okay, it's called Journey. Every once in a while we must take a journey. It need not be long or short, but it needs to be of such time as to imprint itself into our brains. We are never sure what we may encounter on our journey, but it will be probably enough to change our way of seeing the world as we currently do. So this is necessary for our growth as human being and a species. Be not afraid to undergo this journey, for you never know what beauties you will encounter in your trek. And if you are beset by problems, how wonderful to unravel the knot and find yourself free to pursue the voyage you embarked on. Open your mind to the possibilities that may be encountered in your travels, for they enrich you enormously and can be a source of great comfort in your later years. Surrounded by family members, you may share what you experience during this journey and entertain or inspire many other family members to do as you did. We are indeed enriched by any experience that takes us out of the comfort zones and show us a new reality. New pathways are created and bring us much joy if we go on to pursue the next evolution in our lives. Be brave and be prepared for a most wondrous experience. Thanks, Marjolaine.
She wrote 3 poems. Just read them earlier on today. They're really remarkable. Okay, so this one's called Obsolescence by Brittany Fox. I'll decipher your matrix in anticipation for your love. I'll be there when push comes to shove. I'll decide the doubts that you speak thereof. I'll dance with your demons to develop your higher devotion. Like a dishonest damsel, watch me toy with your adolescent emotions. I'm your third person omniscient. I embody your obsolescence. I'll dangle myself in front of the devil to compete for your confidence. There is no state or condition I can't compliment. I'll flood your conscience and flush your fidelity. I'll know how good we'd be separately. In time, you'll be so much better without me. I'll derive a certain hunger from the depths of your adamant soul. Wear the harness for me, lose your self-control. Don't be surprised when I consume your life whole. That's the first one. This one's called Death Grip. Another one by Brittany Fox. The sun sinks into the moon when you're at a loss and out of tune. You're in damned need to find your rhythm soon. When you're sick of searching for those blue skies, so to speak, you keep coming up short when comfort is all that you seek. Eyes make the loose faucets when the incoming news is bleak. You try your hand at happiness again, only to get a sneak peek. When you're holding on to a loss, there's nothing like that death grip. When you feel your heart start to grip, you're in need of a new script. That's the second one. This is another one by Brittany, called Stranded in Melancholy. When the sleep seems shallow and you're strapped to the chaos in sleepy hollows, landings of big big pill to swallow. When you're stranded in melancholy, you're dishing for revision when you can't quite ignite the ignition. You're searching through subliminal messages, starving for a sense of ambition. Stay driven. You're likely on the road to a mighty transition. Even if you're living on a prayer, just listen. There is just no end to some things. Once you know grief and guilt, they replace what makes the heart sing. Sympathy and compassion has a nice ring. When you're in the grime, nothing erases the permanent sting. When others' felicity feels like a tease, and the weight of the world has you on your knees, reminder you're thoroughly made for the traction, a fall from grace and culpability and paction. If there comes a day that happiness is only a reenaction, it's hard to say, but you're made for the wear and tear action.
All right.
And I have 3 of my own. All my poems are the glory of God and to go with love.
Amen.
Thank you. This one's called The Load. A new perspective can change the past. A willingness to learn is the future. Understanding why there is a burden can nullify a burden. Trying to find beauty in the journey means friends sharing in the load. The carrot before the horse can only last so long, yet faltering may entrench your conviction. The willingness to encourage others is a kind of power for your own ability. A steady hand takes time to be known. It's immediate for the one who has it. Being alone is painful, and patience is a virtue. Long-term patience is even divine. The whole world might already know your empowerment. You might just be showing them that you have it too. Sometimes the most simple message eludes people. Subtlety is often simple. Difficult lessons take time to teach. Sometimes your most important and most persistent opponent is defeated by the truth. Taking power out of the hands of others could be a factor of their resistance. Finding love is a matter of knowing everyone deserves it. Knowing you didn't derive your own existence means knowing it comes from a higher power. Then you see others on those terms, your terms, that when you give up on others, you give up on yourself. Then you live for a higher power. Then the higher power just wants to love you and everyone thereof. Ceasing the need to have everything on your terms means understanding in terms of love instead of the mind. It means placing a limit on your understanding and putting things in the hands of forgiveness. Worrying about power struggles is put aside. There are only so many things anyone can do to put forgiveness first, so you don't have to worry. Primarily telling anyone possible that you want them to be loved is what matters. The Bible is a set of parameters about being a loving person. It means forgiving yourself a lot as well. There is such a thing as truth. That means making communication important. Accepting injustice is Jesus on the cross. God is always fair, and so is the truth, but life is often unfair. So we can find comfort in looking at things on the terms that God wants to love us. That's the first one. And this is my second one. It's called The Lens. The lands lend a vision. We can see beyond the naked eye, traveling through distances of space and time, boats, planes, cars, trains, on feet or cycles, to follow that which moves at the speed of time, light that binds us to our hope. The lens lands on the land lens, how to hold hands except through great distances, to kiss, perhaps to dream, to travel universes that open on to all there is, a limited range of vast territories of planets around stars, billions of years as a universe creation shared by God, children given birth to everything, not needing to control, distances traveled only through contrition, trees with retinas as leaves, rocks catching the heat of the sun, eyes always looking from your own eyes, captive to one perception. set free through trust in a truth about being contrite. Bended knees, bended, lended, borrowed of seen. The horizon of fractured light gathered by slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. A man assaulted with arrows of death. A chance to love exceeds him as he is blown apart with submission, appearing as he enters in his apartment suite, knowing he doesn't know how he got there. A tiny movement exists because it all does. No need to know is life. Devils accusing of an absence of a soul because of no certainty of one's own existence, laughing at it as its judgment is junior high school sexual slurs, halls and rooms of cages where exact words are required and serious consideration is integral. Yet humor is an escape, as it takes the whole universe for anyone to ride a beam of light. And that's our lives. Everything is everything, and someone else decides where we go to see in new ways what it is to see. And this one's called Growing Smaller. He rises from the earth. Ayers Rock is a shoulder pad. He looks around for something to prove. Proving God exists by destruction won't work. The innocence of a child and the primeval. Standing there, skyscrapers tall. Standing 3 skyscrapers tall. He watches his feet as he runs, yet he knows not where. Deep in our past, a seed was dropped on the ground. As the eons passed, we forgot. There would come a time when mankind would threaten to destroy itself, when greenhouse gases would fill the air. Indiscriminately, the baby kills, as awkwardly as any newborn. He slowly sees potential friends. Many cities fall to his footsteps. Some call out as to a small child. He listens. Many more die from his affection. A deathly lizard look in his eyes. Then a look of humanity dawns, of life and recognition. He sees the injustice of death. He drops to his bottom and cries, calling out for none of it to be true. Death and doubt, evil and the desire to kill. Families went lost to his mistakes. People call to him with sympathy. Then a girl rises of his size. They play and laugh together. It takes time, but he teaches her of his mistakes. They learn together they were meant to destroy. They sit daunted by their role. They only arose because of pollution, a word they could barely utter. After they cried, they laughed. They saw pets in the wilderness, life that implied love. Movies and music and art struck deeply through eons of ignorance. Then they cried because they know they weren't capable of their task. As the years passed by, they became human size, and that was there typically. They fought to see that growing smaller was about accepting evil exists, whereby previously they needed to deny it exists at all. If there is something greater than destruction, it has to be that life is a higher purpose. They continued to grow smaller, and so one day they were like mustard seeds. They fell through someone's fingers and wondered if anyone noticed them at all. And at what size will they need to exist so that what they think will matter again? Or maybe it was what they learned. That was their journey, so that they wondered how many journeys they had. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you everyone who read or who just wrote and just contributed in general. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Have a good
And
night.
thank you to Maria for emceeing her very first poetry slam.
Don't go away angry. This thing won't go away.